regular meeting of the Mayor and Council for Monday, May 15th, 2023 is now called to order. Notice of the time, date, and location of this meeting was provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Chief Despenders, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman Benedetto.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Reich.
Here.
Councilwoman Rogers. Here. Councilman Schnur.
Here.
Councilwoman Schutzer. Here.
Okay. Item 4 this evening is exciting times here. We're going to be honoring the participants in the Freehold Borough Accelerator Program. I'd like to turn this over to Councilwoman Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This is truly an exciting night for me to be able to recognize these individuals. So for those who don't know, the Freehold Borough Accelerator Program was it was an idea that I had, and Councilwoman Jordan helped me get it off the ground, where we partner with Brookdale and with the New Jersey Small Business Development Center at Brookdale to open up a program that would allow potential entrepreneurs to get the training that they need to be able to have the knowledge to start a small business. What a lot of people don't know is it's very, there's a lot of rules in place when you want to start a small business in New Jersey. So my thought was, let's give these individuals a hand up to help them learn what they need to do and get off on the right foot, thereby giving them more of a chance of success and longevity when they do start their business. And the New Jersey Small Business Development Center was all in. They had done a similar project in Long Branch, and they were more than willing to work with us. I'd like to thank Monmouth County for funding the initiative. When we pitched the idea to them, they were on board and they agreed to fund the whole initiative. I'd like to also thank Downtown Freehold for helping us navigate some of the intricacies, and also create labs, and of course my Freehold Borough governing body. So we have some of the participants here tonight. Everyone was not able to make it, and we have representatives from the NJSBDC here, Ernestine and Maggie. So at this time, I'd just like to present them with these citations. And the citation reads, Borough of Freehold Municipal Citation. On behalf of the Mayor and Council of Freehold Borough, commendations and praise are extended to each of the participants for your outstanding commitment and completion of the Freehold Borough Accelerator Program. This was a 13-plus week program, and these individuals attended all of the sessions and really put everything that they had into making sure that they got everything they could from this program, and I'm extremely, extremely proud of them. So I'm going to come down and present these certificates. So as I call your name, I'd like you to come up, and then we can Audencia Development Center at Brookdale for facilitating the program and helping us bring this to fruition.
It was a privilege, it really was, to work with all of them, and as Maggie said, they had to devote so much time and energy to this, so usually in the evenings and on Saturdays, to try to make their American dream come true, and I think it's wonderful.
Yes, and I'm so, so proud of them for all the work that they put in, for the way they're going to use the knowledge. When you see these businesses come to fruition, when you see the ideas that they have, and when they're up and running, you are going to be amazed. I could not believe the ideas that they have, and I'm so proud of them. So,
Maybe we can just mention real quick
Yeah.
what they were doing.
well, some of it is no,
Okay.
Yeah, there are some
just a high
patent
overview.
spending, so.
Do you want to say what you're doing? Just very high level. What are you? What is
Your business.
Your business. He's doing things with automotive. He's making some real strides in the automotive.
I'm
industry.
converting gas-powered engines to electric and hybrid,
Yes.
rather than having, a new vehicle built there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And what? You guys are building a machine to help the food industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tortillas, make tortillas.
Yes.
Maíz, tortillas, maíz, glue.
It's your tortilla making machine.
Yes,
Right.
So, and some of the other people, they couldn't be here tonight, but they have amazing ideas as well. So I'm looking forward to these businesses. Do we have? Forgot to get my camera out. Do you want to hear?
I'm the photographer.
And I work at Brookdale.
Okay.
Slide a little bit closer. There you go.
Maggie, get in.
Come on, get walk in the. As a matter of fact, can I flash a red on here? Take a photo of us, because I want to get in there. Oh, no, this is my friend, this is my photo. Oh, there you go, good, okay, sorry. Right over there. Okay.
Ready? Cheese? Business?
Thank you, everyone.
And a big thank you to Margaret as well, to Margaret for facilitating this whole program. Thank you, Margaret.
Okay, thank you and congratulations. Item 5 this evening is a second reading of public hearing ordinance 2023/18 to amend the supplement Title 5 Business Licenses and Regulations of the Code of the Borough of Freehold. This is a second reading. I'd like to open up to the public. If anyone from the public would care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Chris Velasco, 3 Phillips Road. Under the permit required section, B, it states that if anyone has audio in their video, then they need a permit.
No audio or mic stands being used.
Right, but what if they do have, because then our small businesses won't be able to, like, do a little mini commercial or something for Facebook if they're,
Well, they would probably have less than 3 people.
right? So is this, they have to have all 6 to not need a permit, or just 1 not to need a permit? Because it doesn't say if it,
They need all. Yeah,
Okay.
If you repeat, so you're asking whether or not they need a permit if they're using a stand.
yeah, like, if there's 3 or fewer people, there's only 1 camera. They're not asking for any parking because it's their own small business. They don't need the exclusive access. There's no interference because they're in front of their own store, but they need audio.
What are they using for audio?
Maybe they have a microphone or something.
That's not an audio stand, because I think it's referring to like a boom stand, or like a boom holding.
Okay. All right, thank you. Just clarifying.
Anyone else in the public?
Good evening, Jeff Friedman on behalf of the Freehold Center Management Corporation. As usual, I'd like to thank council. We met with a couple council members to discuss some of our concerns. And as always, council is always responsive to working with the business community and taking those concerns under advisement. And we appreciate the work that was done with some of the revisions, and we support this ordinance. So thank you and have a great night.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Seeing no further comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, the public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2023/18 and authorization of publication.
I'll move that.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I just want to thank the business administrator and everyone involved for revising this to make it more so that our small businesses will not be as impacted by this. With the parameters that were put into the ordinance, it makes a little more sense, and it doesn't prohibit our local people from being able to make small commercials to represent their business.
Any other discussion?
Yes, please. Just to clarify, item B under permit required, number 4, it's an audio stand. So a boom stand, a mic stand, something that has to be placed in pedestrian traffic. Similarly, like if there was box lighting or studio lighting that have to be placed. It's not no audio, it's a no audio stand. So of course, if someone is doing a commercial in front of their business and they're video recording it, they can also audio record it as well. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023/18 is adopted. Item 6 is a second reading and public hearing ordinance 2023/20 to amend and supplement Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic of the Code of the Borough of Freehold. Again, this second reading public hearing, I'd like to open up to the public. Anyone from the public, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
This involves an all-way stop on the intersection of Ford and Lloyd. Seeing no comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2023/20 and authorization of publication.
I'll move that, please.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes, as Councilwoman Schutzer explained, the streets are involved, but not only will it help with the vehicles, it will help with pedestrian and the crossings also.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023/20 is adopted. Item 7 is a proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold declaring the month of June 2023 as Pride Month in the Borough of Freehold. I'd like to ask Councilman Rice to read this into the record for us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It'd be an honor and privilege to do so. The Borough of Freehold Proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, recognizing June 2023 as Pride Month in the Borough of Freehold. Whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold recognizes and proclaims the month of June 2023 as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer LGBTQ Pride Month throughout the Borough of Freehold. And whereas the Borough of Freehold joins the County of Monmouth to observe Pride Month with a pride flag raising ceremony to honor the history of the LGBTQ liberation movement and to support the rights of all citizens to experience equality and freedom from discrimination.
And whereas the rainbow flag is widely recognized as a symbol of pride, inclusion, and support for social movements social movements that advocate for LGBTQ people in society. And whereas all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, LGBTQ individuals have had immeasurable impact to the cultural, civic, and economic success of our country. And whereas the Borough of Freehold is committed to supporting visibility, dignity, and equality for LGBTQ people in our diverse community, while society at large increasingly supports LGBTQ equality, it is essential to acknowledge that the need for education and awareness remains vital to end discrimination and prejudice. And whereas this nation was founded on the principle that every individual has infinite dignity and worth, and the mayor and council call upon the people of this municipality to embrace this principle and work to eliminate prejudice everywhere it exists. And whereas celebrating Pride Month influences awareness and provides support and advocacy for Monmouth County's LGBTQ community, and is an opportunity to take action and engage in dialogue that strengthens alliances, builds acceptance, and advances equal rights. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold, hereby proclaims the month of June 2023 as Pride Month in support of the LGBTQ community. Be it further resolved that the rainbow flag will be raised during the month of June, recognizing all LGBTQ residents whose influential and lasting contributions to our neighborhoods make the Borough of Freehold a vibrant community in which to live, work, and visit. Signed, Kevin A. Kane, Mayor, May 15th, 2023.
Thank you, Councilman.
My pleasure.
Item 8 this evening is a public hearing, 2023-2024 budget and assessment roll for Special Improvement District. Again, Jeff Freeman from the Downtown Partnership.
Good evening. Jeff Friedman on behalf of the Freehold Center Management Corporation. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Friedman, for those who do not know me. I am the Exec Director for the Freehold Center Management Corporation, more commonly known as DowntownFreehold.com or the Partnership. I'm also a borough resident, property owner, small business owner, and I'm active in a number of volunteer committees in the community. Downtown Freehold is an independent 501c nonprofit organization formed in 1992 by the commercial property and business owners in the Downtown Business District to manage and market the Downtown Business District. The partnership is founded upon the recognition that Downtown Freehold is the heart of Freehold Borough and Western Monmouth County, and that a vibrant downtown benefits all residents, visitors, businesses, and property owners. Downtown Freehold works in partnership with all those who live, work, and invest in the downtown to achieve the following goals. First, foster the downtown's economic development. Second, encourage the downtown's revitalization. And third, preserve the downtown's historic past. This third one is of vital importance. The historic charm and character of downtown Freehold and Freehold Borough as a whole is why people come to visit and live in Freehold Borough, invest, and open businesses here. Preserving our historic structures and unique character of the community is what will continue to spur economic development and revitalization. In pursuit of these goals, Downtown Freehold has been and will continue to be committed to working in partnership and collaboration with all members of the public and private sector who share the vision to build a partnership that creates and implements action-oriented plans to realize the goals I mentioned above. We are fortunate to have a wonderful working relationship with both the Borough of Freehold and the Monmouth County administrative offices and elected officials. Without them, we cannot do what we do year to year for the public, businesses, and the community as a whole. Downtown Freehold is comprised of dedicated professionals who pledge their efforts, ideas, and time to sustaining a proactive organization that addresses the concerns and challenges as they arise to create and maintain a thriving and safe downtown for all to enjoy all year round. Downtown Freehold is funded through membership dues of the member commercial property owners through a levy, sponsorships, grants, and event revenue, as well as some donations. Not through the tax revenue collected by the Borough of Freehold on owner-occupied residential properties. That means if you live in a home that you own, none of your tax dollars go to fund the downtown Freehold budget that was approved by the membership a few months ago and was presented to you guys. I'd like to give an opportunity to let you, like I said, I'd like to give you an opportunity to know that the board has approved our budget and has approved our audit from last year, which was sent over to you guys. With those funds raised through the membership dues, sponsorships, etc., Downtown Freehold works on an innumerable number of issues in the community. Tonight, I'm going to talk about 4 of those issues and things. Number one we do that the public sees is we produce events for the public. We market Downtown Freehold to a wider audience. We have beautification and maintenance programs of Downtown Freehold to make it better looking and beautiful. And we work on a regular basis with local, state, and county officials for the benefit of Downtown Freehold Borough and the borough as a whole. Downtown Freehold produces nearly 150 free events a year for the public and donates money, equipment, and services to many of the borough-run events. From Irish Week, produced in conjunction with the Freehold Borough Arts Council, the Food Truck Festival with the United Way, the summer and fall concert series, movie nights, farmers markets, holidays events, Sunday jazz and blues at the gazebo, and so much more, we ensure that there is always something going on in our community for the residents and visitors to enjoy. In addition to the events that Downtown Freehold produces with the sponsors, Downtown Freehold also supports events like the Memorial Day Parade, Juneteenth events, July 4th celebrations, Latino Festival, African Arts Festival, and other events produced by the borough and other organizations with technical, logistical support, staging, and other needs. We see that as a valuable part of our partnership with the borough and the various community organizations we work with. In conjunction with our events with downtown, we do a large-scale marketing event, from our plethora of rack cards that you see downtown and on the Parkway and various other places, to TV and radio advertising, to print and digital promotion. Downtown Freehold reaches, on an average through our social media programs, over 50,000 people a month. In addition to the 150 plus free events for residents and visitors to downtown, Downtown Freehold funds a number of beautification programs throughout the year. One such program includes the funding and maintenance of all the flower pots and flowers planted downtown each year. As part of this program, Downtown Freehold pays Freehold Borough, as part of a shared service agreement, over $21,000 a year to water the flowers, a service and other services, of which we are grateful for and happy to contribute to. The program costs Downtown Freehold approximately $7,000 a year. But we believe, as does most of the public, based on the compliments we receive day after day and year after year, that the beautiful flowers throughout downtown play an important role in the charm, the continuity, and consistency of the downtown streetscape. This program is overseen by Downtown Freehold and Tom Taylor of Taylor & Taylor Landscaping, someone who and his father, George, donate an enormous amount of time to make sure this community is always looking beautiful. Another is our Pocket Park parking entrance and alleyway maintenance program. Downtown Freehold's partners and landscapers plant flowers and maintain Gear Park, the library front courtyard, the alleyways downtown, and the entrances of a couple of the parking lots. This program is also supported in large part by Taylor & Taylor Landscaping, as well as Freehold Ground Maintenance, both of which donate time and material to help make this program successful, also at no cost to the taxpayer. Another very visible beautification program is our holiday lighting program. Over the years, Downtown Freehold has purchased, for the benefit of the whole community, hundreds of wreaths, shooting stars, and other illuminating decorations to adorn the downtown, from Thanksgiving to the end of January. Each year on Thanksgiving Eve, Jim Rogers and his son from Central Jersey Electric go around and turn on all the lights, so when people come out on Thanksgiving, they know the holiday season has started. That's another program we cannot do without the support of the borough. As part of that shared service agreement, the Streets and Roads guys put up a lot of the lights on the poles for us each year. And then, at the end of each season, all those holiday lights go down. They go to some of our contractors that we work with. They take them all apart, they grease them, they reassemble them, and that ensures that we have consistent working lights each year. It's a time-consuming process. It's a lot of the stuff that people never think about. Some of those shooting stars on those poles we've had for 10 plus years, and it's because of the rigorous maintenance program that we do to maintain it. Another program, and a hopefully unnoticed program, is our garbage program. Downtown Freehold and its members oversee, finance, and maintain 2 common dumpster pads. These pads are located in the Market Yard and Foreman Park parking lots. The purpose of this program is to consolidate garbage into one location at each site and reduce, with the ultimate goal of removing dumpsters in direct proximity to businesses and residential entrances. This diminishes unsightly views and noxious odors. This program is also paid in full by the participating businesses and also in turn reduces costs to taxpayers. We have had great success in the Market Yard with this program. It's one of the reasons why you can park in our Market Yard, walk into any of our restaurants, and not see a dumpster, not smell garbage, because we've got a lot of dedicated professionals working at the restaurants who make sure everything gets cleaned out, taken all the way to the back and dumped. I think it's a huge benefit to the borough, a huge benefit to the business, and a huge benefit to the residents and visitors who come to the parking lots. We also have it in the Foreman lot. We continue to work and improve the operations there. We have ups and downs, there are some bumps, but you know, that's what working is. We work and we get things better, and we work through issues, and we eventually get to where we want to be. In the future, we hope to install additional pads to service the property surrounding the McGacken Triangle parking lot, as well as the businesses on East Main Street to better address the trash problems in those areas. Also rarely seen or heard about is the enormous amount of time and effort Duran and my staff, basically Duran and myself, goes behind the scenes working with various property owners, business owners, government officials, the public vendors, and others who take into account all the various competing needs and wants, and working to craft solutions that benefit the community as a whole. From parking issues to property maintenance issues, to delivery issues to signage issues, you name it, if it affects a business owner, property owner, resident, or visitor, Downtown Freehold is taking calls and working on behalf of all who live, work, and visit Downtown Freehold Borough. I continue to be enormously proud of Duran and my event staff for the work that we do in Downtown Freehold. We look forward to continuing our efforts to make Downtown Freehold the best place to live, work, shop, dine, discover, and explore. No presentation about Downtown Freehold can be complete without expressing my just enormous gratitude to our partners at the Freehold Borough Police Department, First Aid, Fire Departments, the Borough Streets and Roads Departments, as well as the County Buildings and Grounds Department, Mayor and Council, Borough Administrator, County Administrator, and County Commissioners. Partnership means partnership. And over the years, we have developed a solid partnership between the businesses, residents, property owners, and government officials. And that is something that I take great pride in. Now I'd like to give a brief overview of our budget. This year's budget. We have total expenses of $431,000. We have total barter income, total income, cash income of $431,300. Total barter income of $40,500 for a total of $471,600. Excuse me for that. On the expense side, we have $31,300 in cash expenses, $40,500 in barter expenses, for a total of $471,800. This year's budget is unbalanced by $200 based on my best projections, and I have no doubt we will fill that gap throughout the year. To give a little breakdown on some of the things we spend money on, I'll go through some of our top things. Donations to local events like the fireworks and parade, Arts Council parade, and other things equals $6,500 a year generally. Holiday planting materials are approximately $5,700 a year. Like I said earlier, shared service with the borough is $21,000 a year. Other expenses that are worthy of note. Let's get into here. Background expenses for staff, office, and all that sort of stuff, which includes myself, Drew Ann as a full-time employee, rent, internet, paper, postage, sandwich board signs, banner hangings, business development packages, fundraising, credit card, just all the stuff that goes into office expenses comes out to $218,000 a year. Other expenses of note would be, let's see what else. Member services. Member services consist of events and whatnot. We spend, oh my God, the page did not print out. All right. I do not have the last page here that has the event, but generally we spend $35,000 a year on our Thursday Rock concert series. We spend $7,500 a year approximately on our movie night, and we spend about $25,000 on our Thursday Rock concert series, fall concert series. So that's the breakdown of our major events and what we do on a daily basis. And I'd like to open up to any questions that council may have.
I have no questions. I had an opportunity to sit down with our finance chair, Councilwoman Rogers, and myself with Jeff about 2 months ago, and we went through line by line on the budget, and it's solid. You know, considering everything you guys do, it's a solid budget.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Councilwoman Jordan said. I had a lot of questions because it's my first year as finance chair, and I was just really amazed at how well done this budget was and how thorough it is, and how you're still able to provide all of the events that you do downtown. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Freehold wouldn't be freehold without everything that you all do. So we're certainly appreciative. And also, you know that behind every successful man, there's a good woman. And I want you to know that Drew Ann is sitting in the back row and deserves, not much, but yes, she does deserve much of that.
Well, there is very little I can do on a daily basis without her support.
Without Drew Ann.
Absolutely.
Yes, you both do wonderful, wonderful stuff.
Yes.
I'm sure if there was a line out in here for weather, you would already jump on.
Yeah.
We wish.
Jeff, if you could pass along my personal thanks to FGM for all the work that they do downtown to make it look nice. I would appreciate it.
Absolutely will.
On behalf of the veterans, that pocket park that you fix up every year, the Gear Park, I don't know if a lot of people realize he was the first soldier from the Freehold area that was killed in World War I, and it means a lot to the American Legion, so I really appreciate what you did there.
I will certainly pass that on to Scott at Freehold Ground Maintenance, and I can assure you Scott takes great pride in maintaining that park for the community and the veterans.
And for those who don't know, Gear Park is right over by the railroad tracks, in the vicinity of the bus station. It's that little pocket park on Throckmorton.
Any further council comments?
Jeff, I just want to say thank you for the budget and for your explanation of downtown Freehold. We all get to see the final product of all the events and everything that happens, but it's nice to get a little insight on everything that happens behind the scene and know how hard you and your staff works in order to get everything up and running smoothly. It's always fun to go downtown to all the various events. It's a little disappointing when the weather doesn't work out in favor, but I love the fact that you have a contingency plan for it. You're ready to go again a couple weeks later, things like that. And it's a really solid budget, and I really appreciate everything that you put into this and all the events that are coming this year or have been already coming already happened this year. It's a great thing, and so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the work of the partnership has really paid off. We've been, a couple years ago, we were named one of the 25 top downtowns in the country by USA Today. We consistently tie with the Stone Pony for the best place to listen to live music in the borough, in the state of Monmouth County. We've received from planning committees, from throughout the country awards with the help of the borough's efforts in revitalization and development. And this summer we're going to be honored to be hosting Preservation's New Jersey annual meeting and giving them and their people a tour of downtown Freehold and a little bit of Freehold Borough and all the wonderful things that we have happening in our wonderful community.
Great. Yeah, I too would just like to thank you, Jeff, and Joanne, the staff, the board, for everything you do for our town. It's great. I mean, just comment after comment after comment, so thank you for everything that you do for our town.
This is a public hearing. I'd like to open it up to the public. Anyone from the public have a question regarding the Special Improvement District budget? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no public comment, I motion that we close the part. Do we have to motion?
Yes. Yeah, we have to close the public portion. We have a second on that?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Great, thanks again, Jeff. Item 9 on our revised agenda this evening is a resolution authorizing the planning board to undertake a preliminary investigation to determine if certain properties identified as the Nestle facility, and more specifically set forth herein by block and lot, constitute an area in need of redevelopment with the powers of eminent domain pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 48:12A-1, etc. Someone like to
Yes.
move this resolution?
I'll offer that.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, it's no secret that Nescafe is a little financial stress. At the moment, this is for mayor and council and our planning board. It's also a tool for our shareholder for many, many years in the borough of Nescafe. They've done given back to this community a lot of ways over the years, and we're just trying to give a little back to them and try to help them out also. For the locals, they can tell you when it's going to rain. That's how good of a neighbor they are.
Yeah, this has come about pretty quick. I'd like to ask our administrator, Steve Gallo, just to walk you through a real quick timeline. This has all happened in less than a week of knowing about this. So,
thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, we were as surprised as anybody to find out on a Tuesday afternoon from Nestle's representatives in Washington that they were going to engage their union with a discussion about ways that they could streamline operations and save a significant amount of money. We did have a conversation with the business agent for Local 11, and he basically was very pessimistic. He basically said that there's no way that there's anything that we can do to get to the number that they say they need to get to. We requested a meeting with the folks from Nestle, and they've told us it's premature, but we're hearing rumblings that the place is being marketed, that the union is feeling that they're not bargaining in good faith, and we want to get ahead of this curve and be the masters of our own fate here in terms of what the future of that facility might be. If we're lucky, and if all the stars line up, maybe they'll come up with a deal with their union that saves a significant amount of money. The mayor and I have been in constant contact with our federal legislators, with Representative Kim, as well as our state Senator Gopal, and Commissioner Director Tom Arnone, they've all pledged their support to try and bring all of the resources of all levels of government to the table so that we can possibly hammer out an arrangement that would save this facility and keep these jobs in America as opposed to seeing them go overseas. We're ready, willing, and able to meet and discuss the resources that are available through the New Jersey Economic Development Authority as well as the New Jersey Redevelopment Authority. There are a lot of incentives that we can offer. The general message I got from Nestle was that the plant is too old and it would require tens of millions of dollars to modify so that it could be efficient. So while we hope for the best, we're planning for the worst, and we want to be in a position to, the premises has some contamination as well through their industrial processes over the years. There has been chemicals that have been leached into the land, and they are working with DEP. They have a consent order that they're working towards mediating it, but it has been going on for about 20 years, and we just need to get a better picture of what's going on there and to develop a plan for the future. These are a lot of jobs. They're very good paying jobs in this economy. There's over 183 union members. Their salaries range from $25 an hour to $45 an hour. It's hard to replicate those jobs in this economy. Unfortunately, a warehouse is not going to do it. It's not going to pay the people and these families the salaries that they need to maintain their position in this community. And we want to make sure that we're fighting for the best for Freehold Borough in terms of tax rates, in terms of jobs, and in terms of the tradition that Councilman Di Benedetto mentioned as a good corporate partner that Nestle USA was and hopefully will be in the future.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Any further council comments?
We're being proactive, is what we're doing. And we found out about this hours before you found out about it in the press.
Any further council comment? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Item 10 this evening is our consent agenda. Just to note that matters listed under the items of the consent agenda are required to conduct the day-to-day operations of the borough and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. Be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired of any items, that item will be considered separately. Someone like to move that?
Yes, but before I do, Mayor, I would like to request that CR 8 be removed and dealt with alone.
Okay.
I'll second.
Said, somebody like to move?
I will move the
CR 1 through 7.
CR 1 through 7 and CR,
9 and 10.
yeah, 9 and 10.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes, I will be abstaining from CR 1 and 2. Yes for the rest.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda items CR 1 through CR 7 and CR 9 and CR 10 are adopted. We'll move to item CR 8, the authorization and ratification of the memorandum of understanding with the Freehold Police Superior Officers Association for a period January 1st, 2022, retroactive through December 31st, 2025.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Abstain.
Okay, items CR 8 is adopted. That's the end of our consent agenda. Item 11 is the approval of bills.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes, with the exception of 01820.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, our bill list is approved. Item 12 is items for discussion. Item A is Memorial Day Parade. I'm going to turn this over to Councilman Schnur.
Thank you, Mayor Kane. There are 5 veteran groups in the Freehold area. There's Disabled American Veterans, Palmer served as a member of the Seabees Battalion 110 during 1944 in the Pacific. He was part of the second wave landing in New Guinea. And New Guinea is an island that's near Australia, which had a high casualty rate. What was left of his platoon joined the 7th Australian Army Brigade, where he participated in operations mostly at night in the foothills of the Owen Stanley Mountains. In discussions with him, he said that basically the island was just an all tropical jungle, and then there was these huge mountains. And then he jokingly said it looked nothing like New Jersey. After returning from such an operation, he was injured and was shipped to several hospitals in Australia and then home. And he was honorably medically discharged at the end of October 1944. So that's a little bit about our parade grand marshal. As far as Memorial Day goes, Monday, May 29th is Memorial Day. The morning begins with the traditional Elks Point service of reflection, and that is at 8:30 in the morning. The service of reflections in memory of all Freehold and other American servicemen and servicewomen who lost their lives defending our nation. Each and every one of the veterans and the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice, represented by the crosses and stars of David at Elks Point, have honored us through their brave commitment to our country. And I mentioned one of those was Corporal Gia, which is the pocket park that we have on Throckmorton. About the parade itself, this year's parade is the 149th Freehold Memorial Day Parade. The parade is the state's longest running parade of its kind and Monmouth County's largest such parade. The Freehold Memorial Day Parade is as old as the Kentucky Derby that was held last week. It is one of the signature events of our community. And just to give you a little context, the parade honoring our veterans started when there was only 37 states in our nation. So this shows you how long that this has been going on. The parade will officially start at 9:45 in the morning at the corner of Brinkerhoff and Main Street by a flag draped casket accompanied by active military from various branches of service. The casket will be pulled down the parade route to remind us all why we're there. And at 10 o'clock, the veterans groups will begin to march down Main Street, followed by the rest of the parade. This year, former Councilwoman Sue Sweetman will be the master of ceremonies for the Memorial Day Parade. Every year we rename streets in our community to honor our veterans, and we do the same this year as well. I went over that in great detail at the last meeting. The parade has grown through the recent years under the direction of our dedicated volunteers, most notably Alice and Amanda McCobb, who are really the glue that kind of holds everything together. And I'd like to thank them for their hard work, not just now, but throughout the entire year. They're actually planning, well, they're planning for this year's parade, they're actually planning for next year's parade because it's the 150th anniversary. I'd also like to thank the Streets and Roads Department for helping get Freehold ready for the parade. There's a lot of details that require their involvement. The DPW Director, Joe Flowers, will be at our parade meeting on May 24th. They go over the punch list that we prepared for them. And I'd also like to thank the Police Department for making sure the event is safe for the participants and the visitors. Sergeant Nick Iozzi is the Police Department liaison for the parade, and he's been doing an excellent job of coordinating the various law enforcement departments who will be assisting us on Memorial Day. And I'd also like to thank one of our downtown businesses, especially for you Flores. They provide all of the ceremonial wreaths that we use at Elks Point in front of all of the monuments, as well as the crosses for the unknown soldiers, the comrades lost at sea, and the Battle of Monmouth. And if you could pass that along to them, I'd appreciate that as well. They've been doing this every year, and they provide all the floral arrangements. That's it.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. It's always a great day. For those of you who have never seen the reflection service at Elks Point, it's a great start your day. It starts at 8:30 sharp, so I encourage everyone to get down there to see that. Item 12B, actually the next three are redevelopment presentations. Item B is President Dash Realty LLC, 10 East Main Street, convert existing use from professional office to retail, change interior layout for proposed retail use, modify the exterior of the building, and waiver from off-site parking. I'm going to ask Steve, you want to introduce a little bit about this before Mr. Alfieri goes?
As you mentioned, Mayor, Sal Alfieri is representing DAS Realty. This is a little bit of an anomaly. It's an office building that's located between two restaurants and retail businesses in the downtown shopping district. The applicant is seeking to convert from professional offices to more retail space and change the interior layout for retail use. And they're looking for a waiver from off-site parking requirements, which is always a great subject.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Salvatore Alfieri on behalf of the applicant. The office space that currently exists is 6,923 square feet, which if you apply your ordinance, it would require 17 parking spaces currently in the existing condition. In addition, the basement, which was used by Bill Mayor's office for years, is 1,650 square feet of office space. If this is approved and goes forward, the basement will not be used for any purpose, it will only be used for storage. So the total credit we should receive for parking for the office space would be 21 spaces. If you apply the first floor, the 6,923 square feet for retail at the one space for every 200 parking spaces, or 5 per 1,000, we would need 35 spaces to accommodate the retail use, which results in a 14 space deficiency from ordinance requirement to existing condition. And the applicant is seeking the waiver pursuant to the provisions of your ordinance for that 14 space deficiency. And Mr. Katz, the owner of the property, is here if the board, if the mayor or council have any questions of him. But that's essentially the gist of our application is for 14 space waiver.
Sure, Council.
So, we're presented with this, sitting as the redevelopment entity. You guys are here to see whether or not the application conforms with the compliance with the plan for the Freehold Center Core. The use change, it's an allowable use going from a professional office to a retail space. The site plan is really not a question here. That's something for the planning board. I think Mr. Alfieri hit it on the head. And the problem is that by ordinance, anything over 10 spaces that's deficient is going to need to amend the ordinance, amend the freehold plan to allow for a deficiency of 14 spaces. Putting aside any waiver or any amount to be paid into our parking fund, I think that those are separate. But essentially what we're here is whether or not the use, you are okay with the use to the extent it requires an additional 14 spaces that have not been grandfathered in. That's basically the main thrust.
Do we know what kind of retail?
We could call Mr. Katz up and he could also describe how the office space has been vacant for years because it's virtually impossible to get the office users. Mr. Katz, you want to go? I don't think he's identified a specific user yet, but he may have since we last spoke.
Hi, I'm Steve Katz.
Go ahead.
So I went to all the other parking availabilities that I know of. As far as the municipal parking in the back, I went to Lafayette, I went to behind CVS, I went down towards Broad Street and went into those buildings that had big parking facilities expanded, and there's no parking to be found. You know, there's nowhere to go. If there was another spot or to find some parking, I would look for it. I can't find it.
And the question is, do you have any retail tenants
which is, she's trying to get an approval now. And I don't have things lined up because it's hard to line up something that I don't could give somebody a lease to. I can't give a lease to somebody and ask them to leave in 3 months or 6 months or 8 months and they're gonna fix the place up. They want time. So I have 2/3 of the building empty. It's impossible for me to.
And you would agree if we get past this level and we get the planning board level that the basement would be limited to storage of mechanicals only, you won't rent it out for retail and or office?
That's true, yes. I mean, I have another building on Main Street. Mr. Daisman's building is mine. I've cleaned it up tremendously. It was not fit to be lived in. I'm looking to do good by the township, by the borough. But you're making it very difficult. I have nowhere else to turn, so this is where I am.
Sorry, is Vampire Penguin, is that?
I'm sorry, yes.
Vampire?
Yes.
Isn't that is that ice cream?
They're currently on Court Street,
Yeah, it's a small place on Court Street, she wants to.
That's not a retail, is it?
Well, yeah.
It's a retail dessert, I'm imagining.
Wouldn't it be food?
There's a difference between,
There is.
just because you're not selling.
I don't think they'll have in-house seating.
He's saying there's no seating.
But there may be.
Are they serving ice cream?
I believe so.
They currently have seating inside. Whether they do or not going forward, I don't know.
You know, it was my, I don't want a food or restaurant. I have other properties. I try to avoid it as long as.
We're not here to debate that.
Right. I just, on the other building, there is no restaurant, there is no cooking. And I waited my time to do that so that, there's no clogged and drains and grease and things like that. But can I answer you and tell you that I'm not gonna have, it's impossible to say.
I think Vampire is a good product.
However, it's food not permitted, is what you're saying.
No, it's permitted, it's just a different use, it's gonna be different calculations in terms of parking requirements.
And my guess is that it's probably fewer parking spaces. Your ordinance for restaurants is 1 space for every 4 seats and then 1 space for 2 employees, as opposed to the 1 space for 10 spaces for every 1,000 square feet. It's probably a lesser standard because of that, but I guess that we wouldn't know the final calculation until Mr. Katz actually lines up 10 and knows how many square feet. So I would think that if we can leave the request at the deficiency at 14, I think we'd be comfortable. We might need less if it's the ice cream store instead of general retail.
I would say that if it's decided, and again, allowing the council to amend the ordinance to allow for the 14, changing it to now another use, you would be back here.
Even if we meet the parking.
Changing use, you'd be still, they might be easy to get through and you wouldn't have a parking question by the board, but still, it's a change of use, so you'd be back here.
So can we amend our request to allow for either, we need to know exactly who it's going to be and how many square feet.
You're here on an application as a use, whatever use. You're now changing a use from professional. We're going by the application, so.
Right, okay.
It's
So
going to be retail.
we'll go for the retail, and if you get a restaurant, we're gonna have to come back. But by then, you probably won't need a parking deficiency, it would just be for the retail.
There's no alternative.
Okay.
Mr. Katz, can you clarify about what you said about we're making it difficult?
As far as.
You said that you went everywhere around town looking for parking.
I
but
can't
we're
find
making
parking.
we are making it difficult.
Well, it's difficult for me, and I don't see the vampire as taking up.
I'm not talking about Vampire Penguin. I'm
It's
just saying that.
yeah, it is difficult because I'm in a bad way. I have nowhere else to go. I've tried to go elsewhere. I went behind CBS. I see it's 2/3 full on a Friday night. I go behind Lafayette. I go behind. I've knocked on doors looking to purchase a parking.
So you're doing a lot of renovations to the building, both on the interior and exterior. You're changing the storefront from office frontage to store frontage and whatnot. Was there ever consideration during the project process about maybe reducing the rear of the property to allow for parking in the rear of the property? To add parking spaces to the site to allow for an offset of the amount of parking that was needed?
You want me to break the building?
We already are. I mean,
Well, I'm only doing the interior and.
No, sir, you're not, because if you look at the rear elevation of the building, you're taking the rear elevation of the building, you're adding 3 storefront systems.
Yeah, but we're not eliminating buildings.
No,
we're changing the face.
I understand that. I'm just saying, was there an investigation done to see if it was feasible? I mean, for all intents and purposes, the amount of work that you're doing at the rear of the building, you could potentially do head-on parking and move the rear of the building inward a little bit, if you get my drift?
To knock down some of the buildings?
No, you just take the same openings that you have, allow for rear access parking, and then do another wall on the inside. The rear space would get reduced in size, but you could potentially add parking there. You know what, I'm not saying that I'm just saying that, you know, in all things considered, 14 parking spaces is a big ask, especially, as you said, everywhere you go, all the lots are full, or there's not a lot of availability in the near vicinity. I'm just trying to come up with an idea for a creative solution that might show the council, the redevelopment entity, that you investigated other alternatives other than just our building is our building, it is what it is, we're not going to make any changes to it in order to potentially offer back some parking. You know, if you had 5 spots in the back, now you're at 9 instead of 14. You know,
I really never considered breaking the building up for parking spots.
it'd be almost like it would be covered parking, basically.
Well, and, you know, good suggestion, but not to be interpreted as a approved suggestion.
Right. Just an idea, in a time when we have to find creative solutions for parking issues, just, you know, it was just an idea of a creative solution. You know, if you provide a couple covered parking spots, you know, the rear retail space, the rear retail spaces might be reduced by about 20 feet deep or something like that, but you could potentially provide 21 feet here. You probably could provide at least 4 parking spots in the back. And whatever hit you on that magic number.
To break up the back of the building to provide 4 parking spots?
No, I understand. I'm just saying to bring up the building to do storefronts.
You know,
Yeah.
I really didn't think about it. I don't think it's.
I was making a recommendation outside the box, but it's more like a recommendation inside the box.
It's
I understand.
something I really never thought about, to be honest with you. It's not. I already bought the building with 10,000 square feet, and now when I redid the engineering, it came out to 7,000 square feet. So I don't know where I lost 3,000 square feet. I'm still being charged on taxes for over 10,000 square feet, although the building is 7,000 square feet. So I'm being hit all over. There's a lot of mistakes.
That's something that you
If
can.
there's an issue with the site that you believe that you're getting taxed on an incorrect number, that's something to bring up with the tax board.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's a lot of different issues that are setting me back as I learn more and more about, you know, these parking issues and the difficulty. I never would run into something like this before. You know, I'm trying to improve the property. I like Main Street. I like it vintage. I like it nice, but it's old. There's ceilings above ceilings on top of ceilings. No one took anything out. That building has to be taken apart and reset just for safety issues. Like many other buildings in that area.
No, I think that the design is nice. I think that this has the potential to be a very nice retail building. My only comment was just that if you're doing that much work to the building, and it sounds like a lot of work, the only thing that's basically remaining, based upon the renderings that you're showing here and the plans that you're showing here, are the Federici side wall. Everything else is being modified with large storefront openings, large glass openings.
There's no windows.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is the shell of the building is being gutted on the inside.
Correct.
Except for the roof, I would assume.
Right.
And for the most part, you're looking at almost like, if I had to venture a guess, 50 to 60% of the visible facades are being modified. It's a lot of work on the building. If you're doing that much work,
It's gonna be very pretty.
yeah, absolutely, but I'm just saying, you're doing that much work, there might be an opportunity to allow for some creative parking solutions as well.
See, you're proposing 2 storefronts on Main Street, and then three openings on the Market Yard side?
Yes.
Do you think that you'll have the tenants for the Market Yard? I mean, to have 3 facing the Market Yard, do you think there's demand
Yeah,
for
because
that?
I'm looking for small stores, boutiques, children's clothing, something that'll catch the eye. Not, you know, every restaurant sells a cheeseburger on Main Street. We need a little change. Make it, you know, that you could walk around and see things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my question was just the
I'm hoping to do
Market
it.
Yard frontage.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll have the demand for 3 separate storefronts on that Market Yard side?
It's gonna be
I
so.
mean, everybody wants Main Street.
Right.
I mean, but you'll have the demand for those 3 in the back?
Yeah, it's gonna be so pretty that you're gonna have to look at it.
Mr. Katz, oh, are you finished?
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Katz, I remember you, and I knew what you were saying when you said that we make it difficult for you, because you said the same thing the last time, that we were making it difficult for you.
I personally feel that way.
I admire, and that's fine. I admire your work, and I certainly think that this would be a nice addition. But I have always had as my,
Never to vote on anyone that needs parking. I heard you.
yes, oh, you remember.
Yes.
But the parking thing, and you know, it becomes like, how many sardines can you put in a can?
I understand.
Before it starts to affect the other merchants and the other restaurant owners and folks. And I have consistently voted no in the areas where this parking issue is an issue. And a couple of my no votes, which were overruled by others, have proven to be true. And I just think that, you know, I don't want you to think that we are making it difficult for you, but we have everybody to look at it. And I can't, in good faith, in good conscience,
Right.
vote for something that needs 14 parking spots where we don't have, 14 parking spots.
But this.
So I just wanted you to know, I'm not
Right, I
trying to
understand.
make it difficult for you.
Right.
Just want you to know up front that that's the
Well,
thing.
you know, I think you should look at it in a different way.
I know what you think, but,
You know, that
yeah.
things need to grow.
And if I could look, and I agree, but if I could look at it, and I'm not saying this to get a response from you, I'm saying it because I want you to know where I'm coming from.
Right.
And I am, you know, if anything, I am right up front with how I feel. And if I thought that I could, you know, you seem like a nice man, your work is nice. I know that I think your heart's in the right spot with the borough, but a rule is a rule, and I can't go beyond that. So, no response needed, I just wanted to tell you where I am.
We have just a couple, well, first of all, one alternative is you could say no to any parking deficiency and we'll have vacant office space for Mr. Katz to try and deal with. The other is we can consider what the councilman said and see if there's any way to accommodate additional parking on site. I'm not sure that's possible, but if you want us to look into it, we can and come back and report. Or you can rule on a request tonight.
I just have one more.
Yeah, my concern is that we just passed an ordinance that says that if you're going to do this, you have to have the parking available. So if we create a variance, if we allow a variance tonight, then we're going back on the ordinance that we just created. You know, I understand the situation that you're in, but like Sharon said, we have to look out for everyone that's in that area. So if we allow a deficiency for you, then, you know, the ordinance
picture, you wanna have people in town that,
In the best of all worlds, we would be able to accommodate both.
but we're not,
And
we're
I've
not
heard
in the
you,
best of all
I've heard that, that's the second time I've heard you say that. However, when you look at the weight, again, how many sardines can you stuff in a can before you start affecting the quality and the other people? So that's my answer.
So if I could just say, that building was in existence for a very long time. The size, the shape was from the beginning. Yet other buildings that use the municipal parking have grown. Why was other buildings allowed to grow and not have any consideration for changes for the next person?
Not sure what that question is, but
So if
I
there
don't
would be
think
a
that,
change-
if I'm understanding that question correctly, I don't think that's happened. But anyway, again, I'm not speaking to argue. I have to tell you right up front, you're not going to change my mind.
No.
About the 14 parking spots. I'm there, and I'm not changing my mind. So.
Mayor King, I got a question for our attorney, if that's okay.
Sure.
Whether we grant the variance for retail or not, he has no on-site parking. Is that correct? Okay. So my question is, all of his employees, his tenants' employees, and all of the people that want to go into the retail that he's proposing, would all have to find parking, and in most cases have to pay for the parking. Would that not be correct?
To the extent they're going to be using the market yard lot, then yes. I guess your question where the employees and all those are counted into the parking demand for the retail. So,
Yeah, but there's the parking demand for retail is one thing, but they're still going to have to park someplace. Okay.
Well, he's grandfathered in, for a certain number,
for the offices.
for the office.
Okay, so you think that you can take those 10 spots in the market yard and park wherever you want? Is that what you're thinking?
For the office?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's correct. If the question is where did those 21 spaces, where are they actually now in terms of parking? Consider them moving spaces in the market yard. That's based upon the plan put forward by the Center Court redevelopment plan.
Okay. Then I'm a no as well. If you're going to have your tenants and the employees and the people that visit those park in the market yard and pay for parking just like all the other people that come in that are going to be coming in for parking, I would be fine with it because it doesn't matter. But if you're telling me that he's under the impression he's going to have those 10 spots in the market yard.
No. There's no reserve, not like a reserved spots or something. It's like a fiction. So when you pass the redevelopment plan, you grandfathered in 21 spots, just based on.
They have to pay. It's just, the issue is the borough can't say you can't rent the office space because you don't have on-site parking. They have to allow the rental, but they have to find parking, so they'll pay. They're not treated any differently than any other.
So the number is sort of irrelevant from a planning perspective, it's relevant, but where people actually park.
Are they designated spots, are you asking? They're not.
No, they're not. So that means they would have to pay just like anybody else.
Correct. From an actual parking.
So I'm not as hung up then on the parking. I thought that you thought.
No, they're not going to carve out 21 spots.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, but the reason why we're having this debate is that the use is actually more intensive than professional offices. And it's going to need an additional 14 spots. Again, already 21, they're somewhere. If they're parking in the market yard, they're paying for them. If they decided to park in Freehold Township and walk, then they wouldn't be paying. But there's another 14 spots that they would have to create, or at least allow for.
So the parking is not as big of a deal to me as maybe some of the other council members.
And just one other thing to point out is that we're using pure ordinance numbers here. It's really going to be driven by the intensity of the user. We can have an office user who's going to use more than what your ordinance requires, and we can have a retail user that's going to use less than your ordinance requires. You have 5 spaces per 1,000, which is kind of standard for retail, but that doesn't mean we're going to use it. So until we have users, there may or may not be any impact on the market.
The second thing was, are you amenable to this, the Freehold Center Partnership garbage plan? In other words, one of the things we heard from Jeff Friedman was, well, everybody participates or should be participating in this garbage plan, so that you don't have all these extra dumpsters laying around. Would you be amenable to that? Where your tenants would have to use the partnership's garbage and be part of the garbage plan.
Yeah, look, whatever needs to be.
And so if we put that in the resolution, you have to do that.
I have a
The other question
I have a follow-up question for Mr. Good. So, parking aside, if we approve this application based upon the information for parking requirements for retail use, and the retail use says it's, apologies, I just had it in paper, but it's X number of spots per 1,000 square feet, per 200 square feet?
1 per 200 or 5 per 1,000.
Right. And an application comes in for a retail space, and they know that they're going to be more intense than what's here, even though it's still retail. Is it still based upon this number, or is it based upon actual use?
It's based upon the number right now, unless, I guess, the applicant comes in with some kind of analysis from a parking professional, bringing forward a parking plan that shows that it's not really 1 spot for every 200 because of, I guess, whatever the retail is, it's going to be 1 per 500.
Right, so there could be a boutique that has 1 employee and 2 customers, and so it's only 3 spots instead of, 4 or 5 or something like that. Yeah.
I guess
In
could
theory.
that happen? In
theory.
Yeah. I think that though any kind of parking report to try to reduce the number would be a very, very specialized retail space.
We consulted with McDonough Ray, who's the traffic engineer for many, many of the projects throughout the Monmouth County area, and John Ray specifically, could not give us a report because he said I need to hear who your tenants are in order for me to establish that less than 5 per 1,000 would be required. So we're unable to do that until we have tenants lined up. We can't get tenants lined up until we get past this. So it's
I understand. Like I said, my concern is the fact that if we grant an approval tonight for the parking waiver, it's a large number that's going to affect the market yard and the way the market yard works. I mean, if you're not asking for a handful of spots, it's 14 spots. I mean, it's a row basically. You're asking for a row, and I may stand alone here or sit alone here on the council, but I think that given the building that you have and the amount of square footage that you're looking for, creative parking solutions, which is something that the borough is looking for in other buildings, and that's something that we've seen come before both the Planning and Zoning Board and the Redevelopment Agency, could benefit you. Yes, the square footage of the building might get reduced, but if you reduce the square footage of the building, you're also reducing the parking requirement, the overall parking requirement, and you are potentially providing parking back to offset the count that you need. So I know that you're saying that you're just modifying the windows on the rear of the storefront and whatnot, but it's not as simple as just cutting a hole and putting a piece of glass in. I mean, you're going to be rebuilding 3 of the facades of this building.
And at the same time, knocking down, 80 by 20 is not an easy task either. I'll be the only one reducing that building for parking in the whole
right now.
Municipal.
Well, for right now, I mean, you're one of the first applications that we've seen in the market yard with A, such a large parking efficiency, but B, with the new ordinances that we put together over the past couple of years regarding design standards and whatnot. And given the fact that we're looking at, creative redevelopment opportunities, I think there's a creative redevelopment opportunity here where you can both convert a professional office space, which may not be leasable, to a nice, very nice looking retail space, but also kind of marries that line between, the parking that you need and the parking that you're willing to provide.
So, you want us to look into that? We could look into that alternative and come back, or you want them to make a decision tonight?
Can I ask a couple questions, make a couple comments?
Yeah, I was gonna get to you anyway. Our engineer, Anthony Maltese.
I just want to confirm, so we have a building depth of 145 feet approximately and 49'11" on the width. That's roughly 7,200 square feet. Our calculations in our engineering report came off of the architectural plans, and they're based off the square footage of each individual tenant. Overall, the building footprint on the first floor is 7,246 square feet, which if you take that and divide it up by 200, that's where you'll get 36 spaces of current use for office space. And then if you account for the basement, which we didn't get anything in the application showing us what the parking was utilized, how much space from that basement. But if it was used in completeness, then it was 7,000 square feet of additional space. I'm not too certain.
1,650 square feet.
1,650, so that's another 8 additional spaces on top of the first floor. So that would have been 44 spaces that were being currently used.
No, you use as office, so it's only 4 spaces.
4 spaces per.
One space for 4. One space for 4.
Okay.
It's only 4.
So it'd be 4 spaces.
So we would be, if that square footage is correct, we'd be 15 short instead of 14 short.
Okay. And then as for the rear of the building, the whole building is the property, the entire building. Currently, there's no parking at the rear of any of these buildings, and it's a high traffic area. If there was a plan proposed, I would not recommend them putting parking in the rear of the building because there's so much pedestrian traffic around those restaurants, and it's very dangerous to back up into that main area. That's where a lot of the traffic is. I just want to make that comment.
I appreciate that because I was not thinking of the amount of pedestrians sometimes.
Yeah.
Car traffic.
It's between the restaurants there, and it's a lot of traffic there.
And actually, that corner is the worst spot.
It is.
That back corner.
So, the proposed, the proposal we have before us is saying 5 retail spaces, but then if you look at, the engineer's report, there's also, a potential of adding 8 more spaces, 8 more future retail spaces, or am I not understanding that?
I don't think so. The engineering report only requires
On
that.
page 3, item 9.
8 signs. They propose 8 signs. Eight
So only signs, not additional spaces?
No, it's just a sign for
Okay.
tenants.
So I guess
It would be 5 signs, right?
Well, the plan say 8.
what's before the council as a redevelopment entity now is essentially you can grant the application and we can amend the ordinance to deny the application, or you can hold it in case the applicant wants to make some modifications and come back with a separate, just an amended application. Though I don't know how long it would take to amend the application, so I wouldn't advise just holding it. I would say either up or down tonight.
Mr. Chairman and our professionals, is there an opportunity here to employ the wisdom of Solomon and split the baby, reduce the intensity of the proposed retail to lower that 14 number to a more palatable number.
But the square, isn't it based on the space and not the actual number of stores?
It's based upon the number of space, so what they would have to do essentially is to say, yeah, we're not using 800 square, actually, like 800, another 1,000 square feet, that would become empty space.
Storage.
Essentially,
Or
unused.
different use. Or a combination of office and retail to lower the ordinance requirement.
Right, and
Which we haven't really considered at this point.
And that brings up, something that Mr. Mayor said previously about how it might be very difficult to sell retail space on the rear of the building because it's not Main Street facing. So that might be an opportunity to allow for retail on Main Street and some sort of office or a lower intensity use at the rear of the building.
An insurance company for those 3 smaller stores in Allstate or anything like that is perfect for me.
So if we can, rather than can we carry this to the next meeting so we can at least look at maybe tweaking the numbers and coming down with a lesser demand?
Yeah,
I think that would be an excellent idea.
I'm open to that, definitely.
Despite your advice.
I would say at a minimum, not the next one, because I don't expect, basically you are going to be possibly changing the partial use of one. Really, you're going to have to submit an application. I mean,
Our next meeting is not till June 20th, which is 5 weeks. There's no meeting in the beginning of June. It's that's a 5-week period. Is that
it's up to you, but also I think our engineer would also have to take a look at any submissions. Again, whether or not you call it resubmit an amended application or hold this over, I think it's the same thing. This is not just an easy, hey, let me just change the back retail to nothing.
June 20th is a Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday's a holiday. Monday's Juneteenth.
Oh, yeah.
It would be an amended floor plan.
Yeah, I think we have plenty of time to get an amended floor plan to the town, the borough, and Mr. Maltese, and some compromise hopefully that we can work. If not, we'll come back and you could go yes or no on what the proposal you have.
I don't have a vote in here. My personal opinion, I think we need to get creative here. There's going to be a lot happening in this town over the next 3 to 5 years, and but as council member said, I mean, we can't just authorize, a waiver of 14 parking spaces when we just redo the ordinances. That being said, get creative, figure out, something that's going to lessen that number and make it more palatable. I mean, the fact that you say you went up and down looking for parking, that really doesn't suffice. We need some kind of plan, and like Steve said, let's get creative a little bit. I mean, we have a 5-week period. Is everybody good with that? I mean, or do you want to make a decision tonight, or you give them benefit of doubt?
I think we should give Mr. Katz and his team an opportunity to come. I like Mr. Gallo's be like Solomon and find some middle ground.
Solomon Gallo. Is everybody go with that? Just to give you an opportunity to come back to our next meeting, which will be June 20th, correct, Tracy?
Correct.
I think I'm looking at that today. We'll hold it until then, and then at that meeting, we'll make a decision based on what we come back with. But get creative and come up with something that's going to lessen that demand and make it a little more palatable for us.
Understood. Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Appreciate the discussion.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Wall Street redevelopment presentation to East Main Street LLC, to EMST LLC, to East Main Street. Convert the second and third floor from professional offices to residential apartments. Back on.
This is a little easier, this one.
This one is a little easier. What we have here is, I believe, based on 12 spaces that are grandfathered in. And I believe that based upon the change in use,
We only need 6.
you only need 6. So we have a reduction in parking, which according to our ordinance, essentially no parking waiver is needed, really nothing is needed. It's an approved use in the Freehold Center core. Any of the changes on the interior, as well as the site plan, is really for the planning board. Any kind of variances or anything like that they would need, would again, be more for the planning board to determine.
So just for our standpoint, it's just going from office to residential?
Correct.
Second, third floor.
Correct.
So we're here because we want to get to the planning board, which I think we're on for next week, but we had to come here first to get your input. It is a net reduction in the number of spaces, the grandfather versus what's required. We need 1.5 per unit, and we have 4 units, which is the 6 spaces that we will be required to provide. So there's, depending on how you calculate the square footage, it's either giving you 4 back or 6 back, the spaces that we would be entitled to otherwise. So maybe we can sell some of those.
The redevelopment plan includes a lot of things, not just the parking. I have a question about your proposed residential density. 1-bedroom apartment, what do we got?
2-bedroom apartments.
How many?
4 total.
4 2-bedroom apartments?
Higher end apartments.
Well, you folks always say that. I understand.
I have precedent, I have a couple of them.
Okay. Would you be amenable to the garbage disposal plan that you heard about today, where?
100%.
Okay. How big are the bedrooms? And maybe you haven't gotten to that level.
No, we have plans.
Yeah, I can't read.
I think, unfortunately, I think 130, 150 square feet.
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Any other council question?
I just have a question about the garbage. When you have an interior place where the garbage, the tenants will be able to dump that garbage in the building and not put it outside the building?
We will have this.
Okay, all right. And I know this is probably a lot of planning work, but what about things like e-bikes? Will there be any place for storage for e-bikes?
We have some storage in the building.
And you'll store the e-bikes in the building?
I don't mind having any e-bikes, but we can store them inside the building, correct? If we do have them.
I think
And that being said, you're not allowed.
yeah, where we're going is, there's a lot of concern
Because of the batteries.
about the batteries. We're looking into that right now, so I don't want to have you,
Then I'm right, I can say we
Yeah.
cannot have e-bikes in the building.
I'm not going to give you that.
We can make that part of the resolution.
We have no issues to.
I have no issue with that. I don't want any liabilities.
I just want to be upfront with you,
Yeah.
that's all. But I mean, the garbage was a concern. As you're aware, on Facebook, we have people that put garbage on our municipal cans on our streets. It's a big concern. I know you personally. You do have the fire escapes in the back. We're all there in place, so I think you should be okay.
So garbage and e-bikes, those are the 2 things we have to look at.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then, my question is that, with converting these 2 apartments, the area where your residents would park is gonna be paid parking, so is the expectation is that you're going to rent it with the knowledge that those spots they'll have to pay to park
They'll have to pay.
nearby?
We're gonna start with town. They have to pay them out.
Hey, would you put washer and dryers up there?
I do have washer dryers on in each apartment.
High end.
That's a big, it's a big.
High end, you said.
Yeah.
That is high end.
application replacing the window in the hallway to a qualified egress window. That will constitute a visit to the Historic Preservation Commission because you're changing the outside appearance of the building.
So that window is the back-facing parking lot window?
One way, it's an exterior change in the historic zone. I mean, you might be able to go before them on the minor review committee because it is one meeting, but you need to talk to the code enforcement office, the building department about it.
Even if it's identical window? Check with them first.
Okay, Mr. Alvarez, that goes for any building. But the question I have is that, are the other windows on the second and third floor, specifically the ones in the bedrooms, currently qualified egress windows?
Yes.
Okay.
Checked multiple times.
Okay. So if they're qualified egress windows, it's the hallway requires another one because it was right at the fire escape?
Correct.
So it was a fire escape exit before, but it wasn't a qualified sized window? That's weird.
It's one window? That's all I know, it's just one.
Well, it's one window on each floor.
I know it's just one window.
One window.
Your plan is calling for replacement on the rear window on the second and third floor.
Okay, I thought it was just one.
Does the fire escape itself need to be repaired?
Not that one.
Okay. Yeah, I would just contact the code office, just make sure. Like I said, you might be able to go before the minor review committee, but it is an exterior change in the historic zone, and so it all requires review by the HPC. That's all I have.
Is he required to do that before planning?
It's going to be dependent upon what the planning board really wants. The planning board could, essentially the planning board in this scenario, because it's a planning board application, the HPC technically is an advisory. So the application will be sent, the HPC can use the minor work committee to say, yes, we recommend, or the planning board could hear it, approve it, and then say subject to the approval of the HPC. Thirty for a second, I thought I put it down.
The benefit for this application is the fact that there is, one of the members of the Planning and Zoning Board is the chairperson of the Historic Preservation Commission. So she has some insight onto what the HPC would be looking for. So she might be able to help facilitate that process.
Okay.
That's all we have.
Anthony, does he have anything?
Anybody else? Anthony, anything from your end? You're good? So there's 4 units here, right? Correct. Any chance none of them can be an affordable unit? Throwing it out there. Affordable unit, just throwing it out there.
Actually, Mr. Mayor, I wonder if we hear from council, does that trigger a requirement? The conversion to residential?
What did you say?
Does the conversion of these units to residential trigger an affordable housing requirement under our ordinance?
I don't know offhand, but for some reason I think that 5 units is the triggering level. But if we check that, and pretty sure that any application and any approval by the planning board is going to need to conform to our ordinances.
Sure.
And we'll check the ordinance before the planning board. It says what it says. We'll have to wait for it.
Great, thanks.
And I was just gonna say, you promised they'll all be high-end.
They will be.
All right, someone like to move that, I don't want to couch this, just move that we approve this.
That you agree that the plan conforms with the center court, subject to a garbage disposal plans with the downtown freehold and no e-bikes in the buildings.
And garbage within the building.
Interior garbage
Yes.
and the garbage plan to take it from the interior over to whatever freehold.
Do we need a vote on this, or we just,
Yes,
just
you do.
straw? All right, somebody like to move that?
So we're voting to move this to the planning
Move
board.
this to planning board.
I'll move it.
You're moving to,
Move it to the planning board.
you're approving as the redevelopment entity that the plan as submitted conforms with the Freehold Center Court.
So it can be moved to the planning board.
Well, he could just take it and put it on his wall.
Do we have a second? Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
I don't know, I think I'm 200 feet within his property, my properties, so I'm gonna play safe and understand.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Stetser?
Yes, to move it to the planning board.
Thank you.
If he doesn't want to go to the plan, just sets the banks, that's enough. That's enough, I don't want to build.
All right, one more. MP is redevelopment presentation, so Rahman, 21 West Main Street. Convert former bank to a restaurant. Council?
This one's like the last one. What we have here is a change of use to an allowable use, or as well as a reduction in the parking requirements based upon my calculations. And actually, Anthony will back me up on this, but pretty sure that's right. Eight parking spaces for the restaurant, and the bank is
It was grandfathered to 10.
grandfathered in at 10. So,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica Sweet. I'm the attorney representing applicant Soho Rahman on this. So we are here requesting a change of use. And this is we're requesting approval. This site is 21 West Main Street, the first floor ground floor space, 4,000 square feet. It was formerly the site of the Investor Savings Bank. It's been vacant since approximately April of 2021. So we're requesting approval from the development entity to change the use to a fast casual restaurant serving ramen, poke bowls, and bubble tea. Hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Open daily for the most part, maybe close on Mondays depending on traffic. So this is permitted under the FCCRP. The site is fully developed with a 3-story commercial building that occupies basically the entire lot. There is no on-site parking. We've got 4,000 square feet of usable space. For the prior bank use, that was one parking space for 400 square feet. So the determination is it is grandfathered for 10 spaces. The plan we proposed was showing one, for restaurant use, we have one space for every 4 seats. Our original seating plan, I believe, showed 24 seats. 28 seats. And then one parking space required for every 2 employees. We're proposing 3 employees. The initial calculation is that it would require 8 parking spaces, but we'd like to increase that. We'd increase that to 32 customer seats so that it would be equivalent to the former bank use of 10 spaces. And that is basically it. I have the applicant, the operator of the restaurant is here, as well as my architect to answer any sort of questions that you arise. I'm prepared to present affirmative testimony on this, but it seems that the procedure is really more about the use and the parking. So I'll defer to whatever the council would like.
Can you clarify for a second? You said that the plan presented before us is for 24 seats, but the applicant is wishing to increase it to 32?
Yes, I believe what we showed, right, we showed, let me just confirm that, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's 24 seats.
We initially proposed 24 seats, but then as we looked at the review letters, and had conversations with the property owner about the prior parking requirement was 10 spaces, then it made sense to amend the application at this point to add 4 additional diner customer seating spaces.
If I may ask, or maybe this is an answer for the architect, where in the plan is there room for an additional 8 seats?
Mr. Frank Miletto here, who's the architect who prepared the plan. If you'd like to.
Maybe just shows the difference between what's proposed and
Yeah.
what you plan on trying to do.
question was, where are the 4 additional seats?
It'd be 8, right?
Try
24 to 32?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right? 24 to 32. So 2 more, you're adding 2 tables somewhere? I would think.
That's it. Adding 2 more tables of 4, this one and this one. If needed, they have it there.
What's the clearance between the tables and the service counter?
No, it's behind it. This is the
what's the
service
clearance
area, but they fit right there.
What's the clearance distance between the tables and the service counter? What's the distance between the tables and the service counter?
4 feet. Half of 8, 4.5 feet. If it becomes a problem, they'll just take 2 seats out, make it a deuce, and it's there right here. This is the area between the service area and these 2 additional.
Yeah, so we're showing 32 seats here.
Right.
And then that would be, and then we would add, and then with the employee parking, that would bring us to the grandfathered number of spaces, which is 10.
So you need 10 spots, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so,
You're not
so,
giving it
essen-
back.
right, so essentially what we're doing is just asking to amend the plan previously submitted, adding the 8 more customer seats, so that then we would have, it would be the equivalent number of seats to the parking requirements for the prior use and the new proposed use would be the same.
Even with the added seats, the added tables?
Yes.
With the added tables are back up to 10 spots, not down to
10.
8.
It's the same
10 parking
trade-off.
spaces.
Yeah, I want to defer to our engineer, Mr. Maltese. Your review had reviewed at 24, right? I mean, by adding these 2 tables on that side over here, how does that
There's an
affect?
additional 4 seats total for
8 total, 2 tables, 2 fours.
2 4s.
I don't think you can, maybe, take a look here. It's to the right of, like towards the entrance.
Now, there's also deuces here that could be made 4, and these could be deuces, how you
So
set up the
the 2
table.
additional tables, which are 8 more seats, require 2 more additional spots.
Correct.
So it would go from 8 to.
So it's an even, it's 10 to 10.
It would be an even swap from the bank's use to this use.
But, give the Councilman Rice's point, I mean, by adding those tables, does that create an interior issue?
It has to be code compliant with fire and safety. And I have to defer to him on the distance, but I believe it is 3 feet, 36 inches.
Okay.
That's ADA accessible, 36 inch, or 48 inch.
You say you have at least 4 going through there, you were saying? At least 4 going through?
I'm sorry?
You said you have at least 4 feet probably going through?
Yeah. To the exit, is that a question for egress? Yeah. We have 4 feet, 4 inches. 36 inches is really what's minimum.
I'm sorry, where is this? What's that bump out next to the table? The bump out next to the table here?
This?
No, there's a little notch that comes out here.
Oh,
What is that?
it's a display, just a feature. It's an existing one, it's an existing.
Because here it looks proposed. There it looks existing.
This say proposed?
It looks like a proposed partition.
No, I have a photograph of that area, and that's an existing bump out that was done it with the bank.
Okay. If you needed the space, you'd be able to remove that?
Yeah, it's just a non-bearing.
Okay.
No problem.
There's an actual bump out there, 6 to 8 inches, and they said they would remove it if they needed the additional space.
It would have to adhere to code anyway, I mean, fire.
My question is basically just to ask if given the tables alone, there's enough clearance for access ways. I think it goes to the building, thinking right. But, obviously, code would have to take precedence and it would be required whether it's, room for people standing at the counter and the egress or whatever it was. With the additional table space, I wasn't sure because we don't have it on
Yeah,
And
no, of
floors.
course.
The last change I had to make quick,
Understood.
as usual.
Well,
How many employees, did I hear, why did I hear 3 and then now you're reducing it to 2?
no, three employees total. One, who would be working at the bar area, the bubble tea bar area, and then 2 in the kitchen. Same amount, no change in that. I said it was 2 parking spaces that would be required for those employees.
Only 3 employees for all those tables?
Well, it's a fast casual restaurant.
Right, yeah.
It's not, there's no wait, table, there's no waiter service. Is that correct? That's correct, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, counter service.
And you have no plans for putting any tables outside?
No.
No, okay. The other thing is, I just wanted you to kind of go over when deliveries will be coming in, what's the schedule on that, where exactly is that going to take place?
Sure. Yeah, let me have Kevin Lou come up and just testify. I don't know if we need to swear him in.
What was the question again?
So, your delivery schedule, what time will your deliveries be
Delivery
made?
schedule? Once a week, usually, according to our previous restaurant, we got that on Monday, around, just pretty early, 6 to 7 a.m. in the morning, and they used to win. And also, we just purchased the supplies from the restaurant support. Okay, Jetro.
So,
That's on the daily basis, so.
so you expect to have deliveries perhaps on a daily basis? Is that, I'm sorry.
It sounds like that's temporary.
Temporarily.
Right?
On a daily basis, that's how we operate it.
You get supplies on a daily basis?
Daily basis, we just, bring to, our own car, like, the van.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you
You use your own car, but it's not gonna be a truck
It's
coming
not
in and out.
gonna be a truck, so restaurant number, cause an issue.
So your testimony was 1 delivery a week?
One delivery a week.
Perhaps Monday mornings, beginning at 6 and 7 a.m., and then you go to Jetro, whenever you need to.
Whatever we need, maybe, 4 times a week, 5 times a week.
Jetro is a wholesale food provider, and you can pick up stuff there from
Like a
restaurants.
Costco.
Yep.
And where do you anticipate having the deliveries made? We're looking at the floor plan here, with the rear entrance here and the front entrance. With the deliveries being the rear entrance?
Well, we always can cooperate with the town hall's requirement, whatever is easy for the,
rear.
in the front, in the rear, it doesn't matter for us.
So you would be able to, it would be a small enough truck that you'd be able to get it
Oh,
to the
definitely,
rear there of
definitely.
21 West
Yes.
Main.
That's like small van.
Yeah,
Like a
just,
small-
we have a question in the back.
Well, I was just gonna state that parking lot doesn't allow large trucks, so if it's a small van, that would be fine.
Yeah, small van.
Yeah. In the rear, not.
Yeah, in the rear.
Okay, not on the street.
Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, and Mr. Wu, that rear entrance, right, provides direct access from the parking lot area to the restaurant, the kitchen, the whole thing, right?
Is this a material picture?
That is a photo of the acrylic of the sign.
Oh,
There was a
okay.
question from the Historic Preservation Commission. We've applied to them for the minor work
Gotcha.
commission for the sign. They asked, what is the acrylic face of the sign going to look like? That is the photo that the sign guy sent us. It is clear acrylic.
It's a very descriptive photo.
Yes. Yes.
So you've already gone before historic preservation?
We've applied to them, yes.
Okay.
We've not received any kind of report yet, but
And
I'm
you've
told
met
that
with
it's
the minor
under
work
review.
committee?
No, we have not met with
you
them,
have not,
just
okay.
fielded a request. And we did amend, just to be clear, we did amend the application to request approval for the exterior ductwork, which it was originally, it came to my attention later in the process that we were proposing exterior ductwork. And maybe Mr. Mileto, if you could describe that. I don't know if the council wants to hear about the ductwork, but we can describe, yeah.
This is the ductwork side.
So you have the ductwork plan.
Well, it's gotta go. It also changes the building.
Where's that?
Yes, yeah, it's gonna be here.
Yeah, what it is,
here in this corner, like, there's a corner here, small corner, and both the exhaust and the makeup air ducts are running into that small area and then up to the roof. So it wouldn't be bothering anyone, certainly from the street, you're not gonna see it.
So on the first floor plan, the location of that ductwork is in front of a window, is that correct?
There's no windows near this.
There's
It's out of the first floor.
If you look on the first floor plan, there is a window in that corner. It looks to be behind equipment number 105 and 106.
Yes, there's a window right here, that's where it goes.
Are there windows on the upper floors that ductwork would block? The only picture that we have is of the Google map, and it's kind of in shadow, it's hard to see. My only concern is that the ductwork is run in front of somebody else's window on a tenant window on the second and third floor.
It doesn't exhaust there though, it was past, if there is any.
I understand it doesn't exhaust there, but if you're blocking a window on the second and third floor, I don't know what the I don't have a picture to see we don't have pictures to see what it looks like in the rear of the building there.
I don't know, I can't give you that answer because I didn't visit that second floor to see if the offices have windows in this area straight up or not.
This is.
Let's see, I'm sorry. We do have, let's see. Yeah, we did, I'm not sure if we did. I do have the ventilation detail here. We did, but I don't know if that helps you bring, you can tell.
I think the mechanical drawings were submitted with our packet.
Right.
So we have information about where the ductwork is run, but it's very diagrammatic. It doesn't necessarily show what's on the building itself. My only concern is that, and obviously there's room along the side facade to move the ductwork if need be away from any windows. But my concern is just that whether or not those windows are blocking the ductwork is potentially blocking somebody's windows on the second and third floor. Right now, Google Earth is not liking me very well because they're saying that 21 West Main Street is nowhere near where it actually is.
Only this one story above.
Right.
New ductwork. No, they're, yeah.
And it's gonna be, you can't view it, correct?
Well, that's the question, whether or not.
Well, in any case, Councilman, that would be, the HPC would be, even if it's on the roof or the way it's run up the side, the HPC would be looking at that.
Okay.
What would you, what, I'm sorry?
The HPC would be looking at it and approving it, would have to approve it, so if it is covering a window, I don't know that the HPC would be too happy with that.
Okay.
Would there be any reason why we could not modify the location of the proposed ductworks if it were to be in front of someone's window to make sure that it did not interfere with any of our
It's the only
tenants?
place we could put it, we could move away from the window slightly.
So
But the intent was to hide one.
I have a follow-up. I found that Google Earth working. Looks like there's only a window on the first floor. It looks like by the plans that you're providing, you're actually sealing up the window on the inside, so the window's gonna be cosmetic on the first floor. Looks like that corner is relatively blank, so. Sorry for the exercise.
No, that's not, no, all right. So-
Thank you.
I'm seeing two windows on that.
Not on the short
No.
wall. On the side, but it looks like potentially speaking where he's placing the ductwork, that there is enough room in order to tuck the ductwork up against the short wall
Yes.
and not interfere with the windows next to it.
I had a question, there was no, you guys did not provide a copy of the survey. Is that over the property line? Is the property line run with the building, or is there room to actually put that ductwork? And that's not going over the property line.
How far off the side of the building is the ductwork understanding?
The size of the ducts so that they stay within the building line. They don't go beyond the building line. So I'm assuming the property line, if they go to, I haven't gotten the survey either, but if the property line runs along that side of the building, we're still within our plot.
According to the sheet M2, your ductwork is a 22-inch ductwork, plus there's an exchange unit or something like that that sits against the wall that juts out a little bit further.
We just need confirmation, obviously it cannot hang over the property line.
Yeah. we can.
I don't have a survey of the property.
Yeah, that was what the survey was not submitted, because there is no, the property owner does not have one, and one was not, there was just not one available to me to submit. But we can confirm the location of the job, if it would be within the property line. If necessary, we could have a survey done.
So getting back to parking, can you tell us exactly where the assigned parking is for the tenants now in the building? And where the bank?
I can tell you without, I can tell you based on my conversations with the property owner that there is no assigned parking for any of the tenants. It's, this site has been developed in this way since the 1920s, and, there is no reserved parking for any of the tenants.
And what about your logo? What exactly does that look like? Yeah, I saw that.
Let's talk about the sign.
Yeah.
So I do have. All right. So, and I believe the question in the engineer's report was about the height of the logo. I'm very good at that. Did you have to study the logo there?
What, the dimension?
Yeah, so and we're talking about the little ramen bowl here, right, in the middle was the concern base, right? So what is the height of this logo? You can measure that. I believe it does, the plan does indicate that the lettering is going to be 9 inches, 9.41 inches. Is the logo the same height, or is it slightly?
Same height as the letter.
Same height?
Straight across.
The real question was, what is the logo?
What is the logo? Can you, I guess, oh, that. I'm
Dark.
sorry, that was the question.
Photograph.
Yeah, it is dark. I believe it's intended to be a stylized bolus movement.
You know what the logo is?
Yes, actually, I got a
Do you have a better photograph?
Yes.
Just so, while they're bringing up the photo, just to note, this application will again be before the planning board. So, all the items, and again, the short preservation, we'll be looking at signs and the ductwork, so, the planning board will be essentially, chiming in on all of this.
I'm just looking at some of the concerns that Anthony brought up in his report.
Do we know what the, do we know, could you maybe just describe what the logo, the artwork there in the middle of the sign is?
It's in between the two.
Oh, that's just a design, a line. You need nothing.
It kind of, I thought it was supposed to be, it looked to me like a stylized little bowl of noodles.
So kind of like a bowl of noodles.
A bowl, the idea of the bowl of noodles.
It's from the design.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the plans, and the access to the building will be in the front and the back, correct? Because there's access in the back, and that's gonna be your handicap access in the back of the building?
Customer access in the front and the rear of the building?
No, customer access in the front, only in the front.
Okay. How come I have this on, what is this then?
Yeah, it's showing, it's basically showing that the vestibule is handicap accessible.
Okay.
Is the front door at sidewalk level?
Yes.
So that someone with an 80,
That was me.
oh, I'm sorry.
Anything.
Can someone with a handicap can access the building right from the main?
The wheelchair?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can access.
Okay.
Straight in.
Okay, anybody else? Any other questions?
Yeah, you're gonna, I've seen a letter regarding the dumpster, so you're gonna go with the freehold
Yes.
center management dumpster program.
Yes.
Okay, anybody else? Council will propose what we need to do.
Like last time, your job here is to say whether or not the plan as submitted and amended, which is to allow for 32 customer seats and 2 employees, there's no parking deficiency. The proposed use, moving from a bank, 3 employees but 2 parking spots. Going from a bank to a restaurant, again, it's improved use in the center core, so require your your vote would be whether or not to approve it and say that it does conform or does not conform with the Freehold Center Court plan.
Okay, someone like to move it?
Just one question I forgot. On the Ryder application, it says that the building's been vacant since April of 2001.
That was a typo.
Okay.
2021.
21, okay. All right.
That's why I addressed that, yeah.
Okay.
They were, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I will make a motion to approve the application as the council did.
Conforming with the Freehold Center Court.
Right, with the trash, same thing as last time with the trash plan as well.
Wait a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like meat
All right, item 13 on our agenda this evening is public comments. If anyone from the public care to address the governing body, please step forward, take your name and address for the record.
Carl, how are you?
Good. Carl Steinberg, 98 West Main Street, Freehold. I came here on behalf of Mr. Katz. I sold Mr. Katz a building at 10 East Main Street. It used to be the Acme. Acme did provide one parking place. He bought from Bill Mayer, which bought from Abington Associates. The building is flip-flop from retail to office, to partial retail, to office again. The economy dictates who survives in retail and who doesn't. COVID did a big damage to retail, and today's society, with everything online, hurts retail even more. I think what the council has to do is become more like the economy. You have to be able to change your ordinances as the economy changes. It makes no sense for Mr. Katz to tear anything off the back. There's always been a shortage of parking in Freehold Borough. If you recall, we let Metropolitan close a walkway that used to be wide from the BB&B study. We let Jeff Jones put a temporary permanent sidewalk cafe on his, which all increases the need for more parking. I see time after time, people tell you your loading is 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, or they have no tractor trailers. Just like this proposal of 21 Main Street, they tell you, not meaning to do on purpose, but outright lies, because you see CVS gets tractor trailers, the little grocery store next door gets tractor trailers, they block that whole back entrance, and yet you people have to make a decision on whether to allow business to go forward. So what I'm actually saying to you is, you have to rethink your application process is really too tough for retail today. The people are spending so much money coming before the boards. What dictates their survival is their product, whether it be a restaurant or retail. Let them worry about it. If they don't plan properly, they're going to fail in their business plan. That means they can spend all the money they want. If they don't have enough parking, it's their problem. Don't let it be your problem. Your problem is the maintenance of the parking lot that you're providing. I mean, I've been here long enough where we switched the size of the parking from 9 by 18 to 8 by 19. We relined it, we pushed it this way and that way, but I may be out of Freehold Borough, but I still love this town. And the thing is, I represent Mr. Katz, I represent Mr. Dweck when he's on 21 East Main Street, where McKelvey's was. Prior to that was Robinson Furniture. I watched the floor plans, even at 46 Throckmorton Street, go from retail to a law office, provides not one parking place, but they were able to get in Freehold Borough. So you have to give the same opportunity to people that are taking their hard-earned money and building and redeveloping. I know what Mr. Katz wants to do, which is basically make more retail take advantage of the traffic in the rear parking lot and make a face in front and back. But by the ordinances that you propose, historic preservation, which I sat on, and some of the signage that still gets through, it's just not consistent with what the town wants. On one side of Main Street, it looks like Red Bank, and the other side it looks like Perth Amboy with awnings. So I mean, you have to really tighten your desire to be a little retail town much more. You have to give much more thought to it. I'll give you another example, and I know it may seem to be wavered, but remember 7-Eleven wanted to come to town. They tried City Service Motors, they got turned down, and they had 3 applications on South Street. They only have like 6 parking places, but the turnover is very successful. It's a well-run place, but they don't have a lot of parking, and they're successful. I tried to get Mr. Katz's parking over the St. Rose Church on McLean Street, which is basically empty all day except for weekends. But Mr. The Reverend there,
Father Jim,
which I know from years ago, and that never returned the call. I don't think he really wanted to get involved in a lease deal. But what I'm saying to you is, there's a lot of good applications that come before you, but it gets so costly to bring a lawyer or lawyer professionals, traffic, that you have to start rethinking, just like the Freehold Mall's done. They've had retail. Now I walk there almost every day and watch it change. Now they're finally getting smart and opening their zoning book to allow, to be more creative, allow games of video games and things that kids that come. And the same thing the borough has to do. The merchant that comes to you, whether it's retail or office, they're the ones that have to do their homework. You can do the signage and ask for nicer signage, because I'm seeing awning signs that are being painted over. I'm seeing signs that just aren't what you really want to be in the direction. Now, I'll point them out to you. I see the new Bill's Body and Fender, which is the new sign up there. There's no border on the sign. Our ordinance says it should have a border, but they get away with it. So no one's paying attention to the detail of the application. I mean, I just heard the guy say the truck's gonna come. There is no parking for that building. I developed 21 Main and East, which was his warehouse to McKelvey's in the back. It's now, I forget the name of it, but it's a not medical, but it came from Marlboro. But there's no parking in that building. So how do you provide handicap parking? There is none. And indirectly, you kind of decline parking when you put all these veteran parking spots up behind CVS and over here in the market lot. So indirectly, you're taking away parking that's needed for these people who want to develop it for your borough. So I won't take any more of your time up. The bottom line is, I think you have to make the streamlined process easier. I mean, I've been in retail until I got sick. And then I've been a broker for 25 years. And I represented all types of people in Freehold. I put retail people in Mr. Katz's building, Mr. Dazer's building. I witnessed him. I witnessed them take down the fire escape that I couldn't believe they did on Mr. Dazer's building, which, how they got away with it. And then you talk about the fire escape on 2 East Main Street. Once you change the ordinance, they have to have a cover protect the person. God forbid they have to go in inclement weather from snow. Now they have to have risers on the staircase. When do you say to the person, this is new, we have to upgrade everything? So there's so many trigger things that go into the guy's pocket that after they spend so much money, they wish they went somewhere else. And and I know people want to come to Freehold, and I know parking is a major issue, and I personally don't even recommend the meter parking, because the asset that coming downtown is get in, get out. Maybe more enforcement of the 1 hour or half hour. Main Street should be 15 to a half hour, so you get in the store and you get out. Long-term parking would be in the rear. But these are things, I'm only saying it because I came here on Mr. Katz's behalf, because I know he invested a lot of money and he was happy spending money. He bought Basner's building first and bought Mr. Bill Mayor's office second. And I know that sometimes he has a New York attitude, which I said, call it Freehold Borough, don't call it Freehold Township, which he did over and over. But he's putting money into a building where I know it'd be an asset, and no different than when I hear people say we're putting high-end apartments in Freehold. You can try to put high-end apartments in them, but they're going to be low to middle apartments that are going to survive, because people can't afford $34,000 to $4,000 a month in rent plus insurance, water bill, so forth. And we're facing the road. We're facing Nestle's moving out. That's something mayor and council has to look at. You need ratables in this town, and anybody that's going to develop in this town is an asset, paying their taxes, paying the landlord his money. Thank you for your time, and I only mean this as good direction for the future of Freehold Borough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Jeff Friedman. This time I'm up talking about the Freehold Borough Arts Council. This weekend we have our Porch Fest. 28 torches, 64 bands spread out throughout town, a couple vendors at different places. It's going to be a wonderful weekend of music, fun, and community activity. Kind of like we had a great weekend with the yard sales all over town. Kind of the same thing, but with music. So other things happening this weekend, the Monmouth County Historical Association is reopening their museum. There's going to be a ribbon cutting honoring the reopening of their museum, and the exhibit they're going to be having is the best of the best in their collection, so there's going to be a lot of great stuff. Look forward to seeing everyone this weekend on Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. Running around Freehold Borough, enjoying wonderful music, community, and a great time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public?
Seeing no.
I had a question more than anything. Mark French. Are there any plans for the town to do a multi-level public parking at all?
This is something that's been discussed in the past, and the borough has decided to take an incremental approach with the establishment of a parking utility to manage parking system initially, see what benefit that is, and perhaps that will alleviate some of the problems that exist. If there has to be a discussion in the future about the construction of the parking deck, it would be something that would have to be done creatively with financing in place from an alternate source, as opposed to the taxpayers paying for it. At this point, we'd like to get the parking utility up and running, which should happen over the course of the summer, and see what impact that has.
Well, not only that, Steve, as a small business owner myself, if you put a 300 parking spot garage, you're gonna have to take out, let's say in Market Yard, you're gonna take out 400 spaces out of that lot. I don't know if my business can stand for that for 9 months. We just came off the code. So that's another impact to the small businessman that won't have the 700 some spots that we have here and cut it down to about 250 for about 9 months, maybe a year.
Right, yeah.
It's a big impact for small business owners.
You know, because they eminent domain, you know, a lot of properties in town. And I'm on the end of, my mother-in-law owns two buildings on Throckmorton. So we're proposing knocking 2 buildings down that are old and, you know, they need to be, we're put something up new. But you're taking away the retail piece. You need parking if you're gonna do apartments above, and here lies the parking problem. So, like the gentleman just before me said, I'm gonna go pay somebody to do a plan for the town where you're not gonna like what
garage, as we call it, is, the return. The survey's done, or between Ubering and everything else, that cars won't be needed in so many years.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyone else from the public?
Seeing no further comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
Okay, public portion is closed. Item 14, council comments. Council President Benedetto.
I'll be short and brief. Happy birthday, Sharon, on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman Jordan.
I'll just keep it quick too. On June 8th, there'll be a family summer wellness day at the Family Health Clinic on Park Avenue. It'll be from 4 till 7. There'll be some giveaways, some music, there'll be some vaccines will be available, as well as there'll be veggies giveaway. So, and also tours of the facility to see what they have to offer. Our participatory budgeting, our forms are on the site, so everybody can start turning in their project ideas. And that's going to be open until the end of July. Just as Jeff had mentioned, we had a very successful garage sale by the Recreation this weekend, so look for more really creative and great events by Recreation coming up. In fact, we're going to be doing a bus trip in August to Blue Claw Stadium, and they've got a couple other things going on. Food Truck Festival, June 25th, look for that downtown. And then Old Freehold Day is coming back to the pond on August 5th from 12 until 5 p.m. That's all I have.
Mr. Mayor, I have to apologize. Happy belated birthday to my goddaughter.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for everybody for hanging with us. We appreciate you being out tonight. There's a whole bunch of events coming up in the next month or so. Unfortunately, our next meeting is in the end of June. But you have the Mayor's Recognition Awards this Friday night, the Memorial Day Parade coming up at the end of the month. We'll have a pride flag raising at the beginning of June here at Borough Hall. There's the Juneteenth events on Saturday the 17th and the gala on the 18th. Also this week is National Police Week, so thank you to our police department for all their hard work and effort, and we really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. I want to point out that the murals on the back wall were trimmed and framed, and they look fantastic. They look like they were there from the get-go. It's a great thing to see. Since everybody always remembers the last thing you say, the Freehold Borough Human Relations Advisory Commission is doing a We Believe in Freehold Borough flag sale. The flyers just got done today, so they're going to start going out on social media and whatnot over the next couple of days. It's a garden flag, a 15 by 18 garden flag. It's the sales are done through Printing to Go. It's $26.50, includes the flag, double-sided flag, and the stand. And if you order them online, you'll get a special hand delivery by a Human Relations Advisory Commission member, hopefully before the end of May. So take a look for the flyers going out within the next couple of days, as soon as we get them circulated online and whatnot. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rogers.
Thank you. I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Again, I want to say congratulations to the people who completed the Freehold Borough Accelerator Program. And as for the Juneteenth events, I just want to make it clear that there are actually two events. There is one that will be held at the Hall of Records from 12 to 4, and then one that will be held at Court Street School from 1 to 5. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Schneider.
Yes, Kevin, if you could pass along our thanks to the people involved with the mural in the back. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to, next meeting, we're going to have a little dedication. We're going to bring them all in.
And that's it. I have a big piece of cheesecake waiting for me. I've been thinking about it for the last 45 minutes.
Your birthday, too. Let's make it longer. Sharon, keep going. Keep going.
You know what I've been thinking about for the last 45 minutes? The fact that the designers of thing didn't put a bathroom in this, in this thing over here. I'm happy to say that the McGacken, I'm happy to say that the McGacken Awards for Friday night sold out. All the tickets are gone, so if you didn't get one, I'm sorry. I want to congratulate the Recreation Commission, and everybody who had anything to do with the old-time baseball program last weekend, on Friday night and on Saturday, the game, and it was just really lighthearted and fun down memory lane. I apologize to anybody who tried to come to the Friday night thing, and there were no parking spots here. I do want to congratulate the Recreation Commission though, because they did a great job. So I think that that's all I have to say. And as some people would say, it's about time.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming out tonight and hanging with us. There being no further business, I'd like to